Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Dead Ball Specialists. My name is Sammy and I am live from Mumbai. Joining me tonight is the man from Delhi, but he was in jail. The man straight from jail, the legend, the football expert himself. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Saurav Ganguly. Saurav, how was jail?
Are you sure you're talking about me and not Harry Maguire? Because Harry Maguire was in jail. He was in jail a couple of years back. I think it's a lot of time. We should just move on from that story. Because the latest news, the latest confirmed news is the fact that Harry Maguire to West Ham United, £30 million. A lot of speculation about where
It's
Harry
done
Maguire is going to go. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm not sure if it's a done deal or not. I think that's a bid that has come in, and knowing United, they're probably going to pick it up. Second thing that I feel is that Harry Maguire has been one of those characters in Manchester United who are very, very divided support. You know, some people absolutely hate him. Most people absolutely hate him. Some people do kind of say that no, he's our captain and all of those things. But having said that, sort of, I think I'll put this to test. If I go to YouTube right now and I write Harry Maguire, there we go, Harry Maguire, he's there already. And I want to see the first 5 videos. The first 5 videos, are they going to be positive videos or are they going to be negative videos? What do you think?
If the first 5 videos, if we find all of them to be negative, I can assure you all of them will be United fans. You know, I've seen so much of Harry Maguire being trolled around, so much of these, troll videos and tweets and posts. It's not right in a way.
Yeah.
It's not right in a way. It's because, even though the fact that he's not really up to the ilk of that of Wayne Rooney or someone like Roy Keane as captains, but he's had a couple of decent seasons. The season when he was brought in by Solskjaer, he's had a couple of good seasons.
I think that was the only season.
Yeah, it was the first season, and then even a bit part in the second season when we were really going for trophies, but unfortunately we got out in all of the semi-finals. Is when the actual quality of Harry Maguire compared to elite players, someone like, I would say at that point of time it would have been Virgil van Dijk, who was at his peak. And so it really showed.
Correct.
But it was how he's just fallen off the radar, and how he's just never been in the starting 11. And maybe it has something to do with the Ten Hag philosophy. Don't you feel so?
I agree. I think I totally agree. However, I think that it's a good thing that he is leaving the club, because under Erik Ten Hag, there's a whole rebuild going on at Manchester United. And if you see that man's style of play and the kind of football that he wants the team to play, I did not see Harry Maguire fitting into his plans at all. I think it's going to be good for both parties. Manchester United have had their share of problems with Harry Maguire on the pitch, not off the pitch ever, apart from that one situation that he got into in Greece. But I think it's win-win for both the players, both the teams. Manchester United and Harry Maguire. But talking about Harry's, there's another Harry who's making waves right now in the world of football. I'm talking about Harry Kane, prolific striker from England, leaving Tottenham and going to Bayern Munich. Your thoughts on that?
Firstly, all the very best. Thank you, Harry Kane, for absolutely entertaining every set of fans across clubs. Secondly, thank you very much. I had Harry Kane as my FPL team captain, and it really helped. And thirdly, personally, for Harry Kane, it seems like a very good move, because for sure, if he's going to Bayern, trophies are assured, something that wasn't at Tottenham. I personally felt, it would have been magical had he come to United, something like what Robin Van Persie had done when we had won a 20th title. But in all fairness, I believe he's given his absolute best to the club. He's the second most number of goals in the Premier League with 213. So that is just stuff of dreams, you know. I mean, there are a lot of people who had actually said that Harry Maguire is never going to work out when he initially started banging goals.
You
for
mean
Spurs.
Harry Kane?
Harry Kane, sorry, Harry
You
Kane.
mean Harry Kane?
Harry
Yes.
Kane, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's consistently proved he's consistently had more than 20 to 25 goals a season. So yeah, I mean, I think he's a great striker. If he wins trophies in Bayern, if he wins them the Champions League, that has been eluding them, because I don't want to talk about the domestic league in Germany. It's something like how you put across the last time I remember you said that Bayern winning the league is something like that of PSG winning the league in Paris, right? So
correct, absolutely.
So yeah. I'm happy. I'm kind of happy, and I'm kind of glad that Harry Kane has finally switched to Bayern. It was a never-ending saga, especially with dealing with someone like Daniel Levy. I think it's a great move for Bayern. It shows their promise. It also shows how determined they are to just wrest back their stage in the Champions League at least.
See, while I agree with you, I think on Twitter, I'm right now on Twitter, and the search that I've put is Harry Kane. I think a lot of people are also talking about the fact that staying in England and becoming the highest goal scorer in England versus going to a club which they are going to win trophies for sure. If not anything, at least the league that they're in, they're going to win that for sure, right? Is that really what a player is about? Is that how Harry Kane would want to be defined, in the future?
In a way, when you think about it, Harry Kane, I believe he's got 213 Premier League goals. You know, if he had to really chase Premier League glory, or he should have actually shifted to a bigger club. I'm sorry to say this, but Tottenham Hotspurs isn't a big six club, I would say, right? I mean, if you want to win trophies, it's well documented. Teams like Manchester City or 10 years back at least, even we were there to a certain extent when it came to winning trophies, even Chelsea. But unfortunately, it looks like, Harry Kane's also stuck to his guns, and he's believed and he's understood what Daniel Levy had to say, that they don't want him to be in sort of a rival club. But it's a good move. I said, it's a very good move for Harry Kane. I'm very happy for him. He's the England. I think he's the England captain, and I think it's just going to do him a world of good, going forward.
Absolutely. I'm 100% sure that he's still England captain. But sort of one point that I have to make over here is that with everything going on, football has finally come back. It is August. It is mid-August. The leagues have started once again. English Premier League has started. La Liga has started. English Premier League first week, which are the fixtures that you are looking at that you're definitely going to sit and watch?
So I happened to catch a little bit of the Burnley and City game, and by the time I'd actually switched, the TV on, it was about 6 minutes past, and it came on, and I saw 1-0, and I knew it's going to be Haaland. So it's nothing against Manchester City, but yeah, I'm very excited. The game's back. Few fixtures that stand out for me has to be Liverpool versus Chelsea, especially with whatever is happening, whatever these guys are doing in Anfield or at Stamford Bridge. That is one of the showpiece items I'd be looking out for. And of course, we've got our game against Wolves too. But that is late at night.
Yeah,
but
I think that's on Monday, 15th of August.
Yeah, but it doesn't really stand up to what Liverpool-Chelsea is going to be like, especially. So that's something we want to talk about, but maybe not now, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to talk about that game, and there's a lot of things going on between Liverpool and Chelsea over one player. We're going to come to that, but talking about the fact that football is back, I think one thing that we have to talk about is the scheduling of matches that has happened, and one of the first casualties of that, I would say, Thibaut Courtois is out with a broken ACL. Now, while we talk about Thibaut Courtois, I want to take your attention to this tweet by a very well-known, renowned football expert. I'm just going to put that up on my screen right now. His name is, his handle is @waza2188. I believe you know him. And he says that he's retweeted the ESPN FC tweet which says Thibaut Courtois has torn his ACL in training and will undergo surgery. Real Madrid have announced. He's retweeted that saying Dahia. You know who I'm talking about, right? Do you think Dahia is really, you think, at Real Madrid?
Okay, so it's more like wishful thinking. Firstly, okay, guilty as charged. Yes, Dahia is, because it's just gonna sound and be a little poetic. You know, the last time around when Dahia was touted to be transferred from United to Real Madrid, the whole thing fell through is because the fax machines weren't working at our end. But now whatever's really happened with Dahia and United, I think if they are able to snap up Dahia even as a second option, you know, I think it's just going to be a very prudent option for them. And like I just said, you know, I mean, David Dahia is, I have a soft corner for him. I understand why people say we have to move on. But, you know, Real Madrid, if you're listening to this, maybe you're just going to pick up your phone and just call David Dahia.
Or fax him, you know. I think his machine is working, but I think David Dahia, definitely we will talk about it at some point of time. My point right now is this tweet that I've seen from Raphael Varane. Okay, let me just put this up on the screen. This is 5 days back. From the time we are recording this episode. It says, we had a meeting last week with the FA. They recommended from the referees new decisions and rules. From the managers and players, we have shared our concerns for many years now that there are too many games. The schedule is overcrowded and it is at a dangerous level for players' physical and mental well-being. Despite our previous feedback, they have now recommended for next season's longer games, more intensity and less emotions to be shown by the players. We just want to be in a good condition on the pitch to give 100% to our clubs and fans. Why are our opinions not being heard? As a player, I feel very privileged to do the job. I love every day, but I feel these changes are damaging our game. We want to be at our maximum level, the best we can be, and put out amazing performances for the fans to celebrate every week. I believe it is important that we, players and managers, highlight these important issues as we want to protect the game we love and give the fans our best. Now, very, very valid point, Saurav. We've been talking about this for a very long time now. Every year, it just seems that the schedule is just getting overcrowded. Every single year, the intensity is going up. And now, I think in the last couple of years, we've seen that the games have become longer. You were talking about the Burnley Man City game, beg your pardon. 5 minutes of added time in the first half is what I saw. Do you think Varane has a point over here? And do you think that we are just maybe losing the plot here?
Well, absolutely, you know. I mean, I think it's not just Raphael Varane. It was also Kevin De Bruyne who had come up with a tweet and said the same thing. He echoed those same words. And he did
get injured in the first game against Saurav, if you remember.
And he's gotten injured, and it makes so much sense because, you know, the crowded fixtures is something that you really need to see. I mean, because, you know, I also believe that if you have about like 10 or 11 minutes of extra time in each halves, that is about as, I mean, that's a lot, that puts a lot of pressure on every player, right? I mean, it's very easy for us to sit here on the other side of the screen and comment about any player giving their best or not, but for the people who are actually doing it, and then you have, it's not just that, then you talk about the fixture list too, right? You have about 70 to 75 international games in a 8-month calendar. That is on an average at least 9 games a month. That is something about a game in 3 days. And if you want players to be performing at your maximum level, I think this is something that they're not really taking into considerations. I completely understand even when rival fans say, you know, incidentally, you'll notice that every time a player goes down, you will never find the team that is winning. Say a player from the winning team has gone down. You know, people who are just going to be protesting, or the fans who are just going to be protesting, are the ones from the winning team and not the losing one. Is because you want to waste time, is because it comes as, and it flows as a part of emotion. You know, you want to win and you want to win it at all costs. So I completely understand why Rafa Varane or someone like KDB would come out and say this, but I'm glad that people are actually coming out and voicing their opinions. And maybe this is something that we need to understand and take it into consideration as well, like Varane has already said.
I agree. I totally agree. But I think moving on from that, in other news, Luis Enrique has told Neymar that he is not part of his plans at PSG. Do you think Manchester United should make a move for him?
Definitely not. He's an absolute no-buy. Bin him, send him off to Alaska, send him off to some other place where he can thaw his backside. But jokes apart, I would never go for Neymar. I think he's a prima donna. he should never be near as close to our team. But what I'm hearing is that Neymar, there is a lot of chatter between Neymar going back to Barcelona, and also there is a standing offer for him from the Saudi league. So you never know, I mean, PSG looks like a sinking ship to me right now.
I think he's going to pick up the Saudi league. That's what I feel. But that would be probably the end of such a great career, I would say. Talking about ends, I also hear that San Siro, the iconic stadium of AC Milan, is being demolished. I don't know what's happening over there. But why would you know why is this happening? Let me check Twitter as well.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of chit chat about demolishing the iconic San Siro stadium. Even I've got an article open. It's written by Mr. Marcus.
I think you tweeted
Chan.
about it as well. I think I saw it over in your tweet only.
Yeah, and it's in Sports Bible, and it was being said that the iconic San Siro stadium in Milan will finally not be demolished. So it was, it's been about 70 years. San Siro will be completing about 70 years in 2025, meaning that there is an obligation to decide whether it has cultural interest that can be triggered. So now, as per the latest Italian news outlet La Gazzetta, the Regional Commission for the Cultural Heritage of Lombardy has decided that the stadium's second tier holds cultural interest and therefore it will be protected. So, very good news. I mean, Sammy, don't you feel that if we ever make it to places like Milan, I mean, San Siro is one of the stadiums I would love to go, right?
Absolutely. Apart from the other places in Milan as well, San Siro is definitely on top of that list, for sure. Talking about San Siro and talking about demolitions and the fact that, San Siro is not getting demolished, I think it's about time we talked about Caicedo. The man is making two clubs run after him. I don't know what is going on. Jurgen Klopp came out, gave his peace of mind to the media, did say that this is not how I want to do business, etc., etc. But I hear that he's moved to Chelsea, and the Chelsea-Liverpool game is when? I think a couple of days from now.
So let me be the devil. Let me play the devil's advocate here, okay, guys? So listen to this
Please.
part. In 2017, I remember a particular news or the pre-match conference in which Jurgen Klopp had said that, we will never be able to compete. I think we had also signed Paul Pogba for a staggering fee at that point of time, and he'd said that 100 million signings isn't something that a club like Liverpool can do, and he would rather quit football than do something like this. But Sammy, I'm just gonna pull up something that I have managed to dig into. He purchased Virgil van Dijk for 90 million. He's purchased Keita for 65 million. He's gone for Alisson for 70 million. He had Konate for 45 million. He's had Luis Diaz for 50 million. Cody Gakpo for 50 million. Nunes for 90 million. McAllister this season for 45 million.
Yeah.
Zoboszlai for 70 million.
What are we talking about, Saurav? I think Mr. Klopp has lost his marbles.
And he's also gone for and he went ahead and they bid for Caicedo for about 110 to 125 million. That is insane. Now, that was the offer. Yeah. Now, incidentally, Caicedo has also got an offer from Chelsea and he's willing to join Chelsea. So, I was just looking at the whole affair about what's happening, because I believe there was some sort of a club level arrangement and an agreement in place between the clubs, between Liverpool and Brighton, for Caicedo's transfer to Liverpool. Unfortunately, that thing had fallen through because Caicedo wants Chelsea, and so it's a very it's a very astonishing story. For the first time, I'm actually hearing that clubs have agreed, but the player hasn't, because it's the other way around, right? And so
generally, yes,
yeah. So it remains to be seen whether Caicedo's going to Chelsea or Liverpool. Maybe we'll get to know more about it tomorrow when we actually watch the match. So
absolutely, yes. And I'm also very, very keen to know what will Jurgen Klopp say to Caicedo when they meet after the game, if they meet after the game. Yeah. Talking about meetings, I think this meeting of ours, it's time for me to let you out of this meeting and also, head out myself. More football news, more football gossip, more football topics to talk about, in the next episode of the Dead Ball Specialists. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you can be a part of our episodes as well. What we've decided is that we would want to have people join in. To do that, what you need to do is first hit us up on social media. I am available across social media at RJSammy07. And Saurav, what's your handle again?
Waza2188. Don't forget it. I'm available on Instagram and Twitter. And Sammy, just before we close, I just wanted to let our viewers know I have not really had a lot of touch about the news in football this week, but I incidentally did have a very fun interaction with someone on Twitter, and it was without any sort of bias and without any sort of just getting trolled. So incidentally, if people are not aware,
I am actually on your Twitter. I am actually on your Twitter.
Yeah.
I think I'll open this up. I know what you're talking about. Hold on. Let me.
Just to give a little bit of context.
I think we are here.
Yeah, just to give a little bit of context to our viewers. When Mason Mount had signed, there was someone at the Carrington reception known as Kath, and she had hugged Mason Mount, and that photo had gone viral. So now there's an Instagram account. Sammy, would you jog me through with the username? I think it's Kath on Reception, right?
It's Kath on Reception, that's correct.
Kath on Reception, with the Twitter profile photo of Jose Mourinho with bleached hair. And it's a very very cool account to follow. There was a tweet out by Kath, I believe, where she said that Anthony Martial, what stopped him from running around last time around in the last season. And I had replied back and I said, maybe it is something that you would be able to tell us because you're the one at the reception and you'd be seeing him tomorrow. And she said, yeah, thank you for reminding me, something of that sort. And it was pretty cool. It's a
I see you've written, why don't you tell us since you must be seeing him daily? And she replies back to you saying, oh yes, we'll ask him tomorrow when he arrives.
Yeah. It's a very cool account to follow. So yeah, guys, please go ahead. Like Sammy said, yeah.
Absolutely. Kath on Reception, you should follow. You should also follow Waza2188. Here is how his profile looks like right now. This is him. Yeah, the good looking man, Saurav Ganguly. There you go. This is our man Saurav with a cat in his DP. And if you want to follow me, you should head across to my ID, which is RJSammy07, like I said, across all social media platforms. I've just changed my new profile picture. Yeah, you should go check it out. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this episode of the Dead Ball Specialists. I'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. Until then, please take care. See you.
Out.